Green Dracule Mihawk is one of the most hyped leaders in the OP17 format. He was already one of the best decks, if not the best deck in OP16.5, and the addition of the new 10-cost Shanks is another huge buff for this leader. He's searchable, you can follow him up with Luna, you can stun the entire board. Kind of a ridiculous card, honestly, to give to Mihawk. He didn't really need it, but he's got it. What a treat. This deck now just has an accumulation of really, really strong cards combined with a very strong leader effect and just the benefit of arbitrarily become 6k in a couple of quite relevant matchups now, including Rocks. I do think this is going to be an absolute top contender in OP17. Which is your favourite alt-art, by the way? I really like the PSA one. It's finally come. This art looks sick, man. Look, he's destroying Zoro. This is lore accurate to the starter deck, as it goes. Anyway, let's jump into the sim. But first, the summer sale is now live on Sleeve Chief. Not only are there massive discounts across a wide variety of ranges, but there's also 3 new products uploaded to the site. Firstly, you've got this Cherry Blossom bundle. All of these products are also available individually. These binders are really nice. They have pink pages inside, which is pretty unique. But if you're more of a fan of a bit more of a darker design, the Night Blossom bundle may well be for you. And again, all of these products are available as individual pieces. This one's really nice. I love the contrast between the blue and the gold. And also there is the Yin and Yang Dragons deck box available. This one has a really nice inside design with a couple of dragons there, red and white. But it's still worth checking out if none of these are for you, because there are also a ton of other lines with big discounts on at the moment. If you do buy anything from the website, you can use code MARINE for 5% off. And thank you to Sleeve Chief for sponsoring this video. So this is the list that I'm currently playing. You might see a couple cards different in a couple of the games. I was messing around with the 2Ks quite a lot in specific. But also the counts of 1 or 2 of the other cards were slightly different. But this is where I'm at sort of after I've played these games. We'll go over the curve in a moment, but the core sort of identity of this deck is stalling with Perona and Odin, who you can play off Mihawk in the mid game, so that you get to your late game where you can start dropping Shanks and Lord Beppo, and this Shanks, whichever is best in the scenario. And then we now have the ability to combo both of these cards with Luna. Shanks Luna especially is disgusting, because your opponent can sometimes try and play around Lord Beppo by not resting their characters, so that you won't be able to rest something and get the buff. Well, now if they do that, you just go, okay, rest everything, restand 2, leader effect, rest my stage, restand 3, Luna, freeze everything. You can't hit things bigger than 7, of course, but if they have loads of those, that's when the Beppo comes in. Having these both be available in the same deck, combined with Luna, feels gross, man. It feels really, really gross. These are 2 incredible cards, and they operate on sort of different ends of the spectrum. If your opponent's playing wide with small units, Shanks is incredible. If your opponent's focused more on playing bigger units, Lord Beppo is incredible. And if they're all rested anyway, you can even just Lord Beppo Luna and freeze everything regardless. So that's very strong. I think the best counter to this sort of stuff is characters that increase their own cost. The Loki, for example, in all these black decks, is a particularly annoying card because you can't freeze it with Luna. You can rest it with Lord Beppo, but it's only a 6 cost. You're not getting that much value. And it's so big that it's quite hard to kill by battle, right? Unless you just pop it with 9-cost Shanks. And that's honestly one of the things I pop with this the most. This deck also just has a ridiculous amount of draw. Mihawk has draw when he gets rested. Odin has draw. And we have so many searches in this build. We've got Kinemon for draw 2, trash 1. Perona can search basically everything in the deck outside of Peronas and Otama. And then you've got Otama to search a very limited but very powerful amount of Wano cards. In the early game, this finding Kinemon's great. This finding Samurai is almost always great. And finding Odin, again, is almost always great. This being emergency search for Odin is probably the greatest strength of Otama. And we also have Samurai, which can rest all these little searches that we're playing to just get us more and more and more card advantage. You play 2 of these throughout a game, you've gone +2 cards off just playing searches, which is crazy. The main downside of the Otama is it can whiff, and you'll probably see it whiff in one of the games in this video. It really sucks when it whiffs, and I do still have mixed opinions on this card. But I think the strengths probably do outweigh the weaknesses. But it does mean you have to play a bunch of terrible 2Ks as well, because you have to include Wano 2Ks. Otherwise, you literally just have Odin, Kinemon, and Samurai, which is not enough targets. So I'm playing Kawamatsu, he's a 5/6 vanilla, and I'm playing 2 copies of Kikunojo. This you can in emergency play off Mihawk. This you can sometimes play out and either swing 5s with and restand it, or it's another samurai target, which is fine. You'll see some different 2Ks in a couple of the games though. I was messing around with these quite a lot. Final cards to mention, I suppose, DMG. I'm still playing 1. You might not need this anymore because Shanks is a very, very good lethal tool, but being able to rest Dons that people might be using for events is still pretty good, so I think 1 copy is still probably a good idea. 3 Dracule, it's a big counter event. Nothing wrong with it. And 2 copies of the boat. Really nice when you do find it, and with the amount of actual draw we have, you should see it in most games, but not in essential cards. That's why I'm only playing 2. And we've already talked about Luna. Let's jump into the curve, and then I'll go over a couple of mulligans. Now, in terms of the curve, you'll notice there's not very many different cards on this slide. Mihawk's curve is pretty simple. In the early turns between 1 and 4, you're going to want to play out as many searches as you can. Samurai is obviously only live from your 3-don turn because you can't possibly have 2 units down and a spare Don on 1 or 2. And I will note that the Kinemon is better on 1 and 2 than it is on 3 or 4 because you can choose to rest your leader. Once you get to 5 onwards, on 5 specifically, if there's nothing that key to freeze, for example, if your opponent hasn't played a 3 or 4 cost, you can just continue to search. Searching more can often be better than just developing a body if that body isn't stunning a meaningful thing. Especially because you're going to need probably 2 more 5 costs, so guaranteeing that you have 1 to stun a relevant target on 7 and 9 can be more relevant, so sometimes I prefer to search on 5. However, from sort of your 6-don turn through your 9-don turn, unless you're playing any tech cards like 7-cost Shanks or perhaps 9-cost Shanks on exactly 9, you're just going to want to play Mihawk into either Perona or Odin. In the vast majority of situations, Odin is better because he says draw 1, and especially on 6 or 7, there's often not 2 things to freeze. However, Perona can sometimes be better if you're playing into more aggressive decks, things like some of the Elbaf decks. Perona can be good. Or sometimes into like the Straw Hat Slop Turbo type decks, like Luffy and Ace or Red Black Sabo, if they're on the old Straw Hat build. Once you get to 10, it all changes. We play Boss Monster plus Luna, or we play Boss Monster and don't play Luna. Whether or not you're going to want to play Luna very much depends on what's on your opponent's board. If you're playing into a black Elbaf deck, it's unlikely that Luna is going to be that efficient, because they're going to have Lokis and 8-cost Luffys, neither of which get hit by Luna. Saul doesn't either. It's only their little weenies. So the Luna often gets less value into Elbaf, whereas in something like Rocks, the Luna is far, far more important. Being able to freeze Shiki, get to freeze Stussy, it's incredible into Rocks. Whether you're going to play Shanks or Beppo is really going to depend on the situation, what your life count is, what your opponent has on the board. If they have a bunch of upright characters, well, you know, Shanks plus Luna is probably going to be better. But if a lot of their stuff is tapped already, say they've got like a Rocks upright and maybe a Newgate that they've just played, it could be better to lure Beppo down the Rocks and then use your Luna on whatever else is there, or even not use the Luna if there isn't anything that relevant to stun. Throughout these mid-game turns, you're also going to want to weave in extra searches, stage, you can be the samurai when you find the time for it, but generally this is what you're really looking for as your ideal curve. Generally, I am just looking for searchers in my mulligans. All of these searchers, Otama less so. I'd say she's the least exciting of the 5 searcher cards. I really do like seeing Kinemon early because it's just draw. And you're guaranteed to see 2 new cards. You can trash something in your hand that's pretty bad. And especially on 1 or 2, getting the extra value out of being able to rest your leader is pretty clutch. And seeing Coffin Boat as well is cool because Perona cannot search Coffin Boat. Outside of these draw and search cards though, Odin and Mihawk are the 2 best cards to see in your hand. If you've got a hand with like 1 or 2 searchers and then an Odin, that's a pretty reasonable hand. And I've got a slightly different way of simulating some mulligans this time. I found this website called the Meta Lab. I've not used them before, but it's got a mulligan trainer, which is pretty cool. And I figured that would be better than making my own examples of what's good and bad. So this hand, the Otama's good, the Samurai's nice, but we don't have a guaranteed second target. If this Otama finds Kinemon, we're in the money. If not, this hand's pretty bad. You don't have any curves, so I would personally mulligan this one. And this hand is definitely better. We can Kinemon immediately, we can Otama if we need it. The rest of this hand is still not amazing. I can't lie. But this is certainly better than the last hand. Let's go a couple more. This hand we have the boat, but nothing else. I would mulligan again. And we'd get slightly punished, I guess, but this is probably slightly better. You can Kinemon, hopefully find a second search, something like that. But we've got the Odin straight away, which is nice. A Luna's always nice to have. And if we do draw a Samurai off the Kinemon, you can play out the Kikunojo to have 2 targets. So I would say that was slightly better than the first hand. And we'll do one more. This hand I'd probably keep. We've got double searchers. We don't have too much else. You could definitely do better than this. But having Kinemon and Perona, like one of these could find a Samurai, then you can rest them both down. We're kind of gaming. It's a lot of draw. You're pretty happy to trash maybe this Nike Shanks or the Luna, depending on the matchup. So I'd say I would keep this one. But let's see what we would have got if we mulliganed. That is a terrible hand. That is horrific. So keeping would have definitely been the correct choice on that one. I guess we'll do one more for the road. I'd probably mulligan this one. You've only got one searcher. The Mihawks are nice. We don't have a good target. This Shanks keeps appearing. Why is this in my hand every time it's a one-of? Okay, that's not that great either. The first hand would have been slightly better. We can Samurai maybe if we draw another one-drop. But yeah, neither of those would have been too amazing. Generally, you're just looking for searchers, 5-cost Odin, and 6-cost Mihawk is probably the, I guess, the third in the hierarchy of those searchers, Odin, Mihawk. That's it for the list of the mulligans. Drink of the day was a cold can of Red Bull, and let's jump into some games with Mihawk. Going first versus Rocks. We have a Perona. We have a Samurai. We don't even have any other searchers to Samurai. Odin's nice. Shanks is very good. We're missing quite a few things in the early game. But I think it's good enough to keep. I'm going to go with the Perona. Looking to find a Kinemon. We don't. Okay, and we gloss over a lot of Samurais, which is not ideal. I could take this, and we can just Samurai it. The Beppo's... One Beppo's pretty good. One Beppo is pretty good. But having a Samurai target is also kind of nice. For next turn. I think we should find another Beppo. I'm going to take the Zoro just to be a Samurai target. If he plays Kyo as well, we can rest that and just kill it. No, he goes with Stroizen. Okay, I don't think we're too worried about them. Yeah, maybe we take out the Stroizen, because then we can keep our weenies. Although we've just passed over 2 Samurais, so how much do they matter? Well, that one's better. Deploy that. Rest a Don. Draw 2, trash 1. This is kind of nice on 9, actually. That's a good one. Are we going to get to play more Kinemons? Probably not. Then let's go Samurai. Draw 2. Luna's good. We'll just swing a 6. And then there's the pass. He counters out. Shot. Fordon. Yep, one of the weenies is going to go down. Probably the Perona. Nope. Okay, so maybe he's attacking both and playing like a Kaido or something. Yeah, okay. That works. That works. He's going to play a Kaido here, I guess. Or a Stussy. Or a Wang. Or a John. Who knows? Trashes a Lin Lin, reveals a John. Okie dokie. Yeah, it does play John. Does rest it. Annoyingly, we don't have anything on the board to rest now. Because I'm not tapping the Odin. We also don't really have a follow-up to this Odin. We did not find any Mihawks or anything like that. That would be a good one. Is it ever worth just playing that and slamming 10 to John, keep the Odin for next turn? I think it might be. Yeah, I'm not playing you. Let's just slam 10 into John. You ain't saving it. We'll deal with this problem before it becomes one. Playing the Odin, like... I'd only be able to swing 6 on 6, which he's already showed he's playing Buckin. So it doesn't really do anything. This turn he's going to play the Newgate. If he has the Newgate, he has to play the Newgate. Okay, there's the Newgate, yep. And he'll get to start swinging 8s now. This guy is a bit of a problem while he's on the board. Tosses a Shiki, revealed a Buckin. And then tosses something for Newgate effect. Tosses the Buckin. Short, we'll take the first swing. There's a Shanks. We still don't have a Mihawk. Let's see if we can find one. No dice. Okay, next turn's 9. We can drop Shanks. We've got a lot of bombs. We've gone over a few of these. I think I want to take a Lorpo. Yeah, this is... I kind of want this to swing, right? Because... Yeah, I kind of want this to swing, because then I can... Shanks it. Maybe I should have took the other Shanks, but then we've got no Lorpos. Oh, it sounds a little awkward for going first, you know? What if we play the Odin and rest it? With leader? So he's inclined to do like a Shiki play. It's really awkward that we just whiffed a couple things this game in the early game. It's not ideal. Maybe I don't worry about it and we'll just attack the new gate. Sorry. I can't do anything with this next turn, man. Okay, we've got a Mihawk now. Then it's fucking one card deeper. Of course it was. We could play that next turn into something, maybe. Just done the new gate. Not terribly happy about it, though. I don't love tapping this to try and bait a Shiki, because he can just swing leader into it, is the other thing, right? That's the thing. Just deal the damage. I think this Shanks is going to be not very good this game, and not having another target for the Mihawk kind of sucks as well. But we'll see what he plays here. I assume Shiki, and then like swing 8 with leader, or 9 with leader. Which I can't dracule him because I don't have enough rested cards. Okay, he's going to start with the leader swing. We also don't have very many counter cards. So he trashed Lin, revealed Stroizen, and then trashed Stroizen. There's no more swings coming in. I think we'll take one more. It's not... And we can play a Kawamatsu with the Mihawk, but it's really not what I wanted. Yeah, there's the Shiki. Perona's better, but like not by much. It is what it is. Truly, it is what it is. Next turn, he gets to rocks, which is really scary. He's going to have an incredibly intimidating board. We do have Shanks Luna, or Beppo Luna. This only stuns the Stroizen. It's so much worse than another Odin. But there's nothing I can do about it. 8's the magic number. For this turn, he's going to have an 8, an 8, and a 9. We're going to have to defend at least 2 of those. One of them could go into the Odin. It's going to depend what he plays off his rocks. So he's used Shiki. He hasn't used Nugate yet, so... We can swing... 5, 7. 5, 7 sucks. 5, 7's 2 cards. If I swing all out, he just takes. I think actually swinging with the Prona is slightly better, though. 6, 6. 6, 6 is better than 5, 7. Because he'll have to counter one of these 6s at least. And if he counters both, he's going to a very low hand size. Yeah, okay. Resend one. 8 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, fuck. I don't have enough Dons rested for dracule. That's fucking annoying. I'm gonna give 2k here. That's really fucking annoying. If he takes out the Odin, I will have enough Dons for dracule. I mean, yeah, you didn't need to trash there, but it's fine. This has to be rocks, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be, but we do have plays if it's not rocks, right? We can maybe have a little advantage there. 5, trashing. Newgate reveals Stussy. What's he going to trash? Shiki. Okay. I'm going to dracule this. Then what's he going to play off rocks? Something to remove Perona would be good, like the Gloriosa. Could play Gloriosa plus Big Mum. That'd be pretty reasonable. Refill his hand a little bit with Big Mum. Yeah. Can we afford to trash here? Because his hand is very low. I mean, we can afford to trash this Shanks. Is there anything else I can afford to trash? Not really. Oh, but I really don't want him to have a load more cards in his hand because he's actually quite low at the minute. Trashing a 2k is risky. I'm going to trash 2. I don't think the Shanks is ever going to be good. I don't know which of these top him. I know we're going to need to play this next turn. We're going to play Shanks Luna next turn. He'll have the rocks up. But nothing much else. We can't counter this here. I think I'm going to trash a 2k. I do not want to give him the draw at a 4-card hand because that's a scary position for rocks to be in. Okay, and gets rid of the Prona with Gloriosa. Okay, Dracule is actually quite nice. It has to be this. Then we rest this, restand 3. So we've got 2 more Don. We can go... It's 7, 8 regardless, right? I don't think I'm ever... I could attack like 14 into the Zabek if he uses the Shiki. But he also has the Nugate, so it's unlikely he uses the Shiki effect. Start with 7. Yeah, I don't need that. He might use the Shiki because this can't defend. This can't defend Leader Swing. No, he uses the Nugate there. Okay. So he can still use Shiki effect on our Shanks if I was to go 14 into rocks. So we just go 8 to 12 at Leader. And then Luna. You'd have to give me like 5 cards here to counter. It's not happening. We're going to have 1 Don open for Dracule, so if he tries to clear our Shanks, it's not going to happen. He needs to find Stussy here, is what he needs to find. We also need to find, I mean, we're alright at the minute, but 1 Stussy freezes our entire board, which is pretty annoying. Because we whiffed the Mihawk on 6. And he's had a pretty good sort of run of the draws. But we'll see. Hopefully no Stussy, but I assume he will have one. He's trashed. No, we know he has one in hand, in fact, actually. We do know he has one in hand. Trashes Gloriosa, reveals Rocks Pirates. And then we'll see an 8. I'm going to take both of these swings. Because whether I counter this one or not, if we don't either stun again or win, we lose. So we need to find a Luna. So taking a life could help me find one, but it didn't. Otama does not. I mean, she could find Samurai, actually. She could help. But yeah, I think we are in a bad spot. Maybe I shouldn't have stunned the Nugate. Then we could have 9-dropped and removed the Shiki or the Nugate. Or at least the Nugate. I don't know. Okay, at least it's no rocks. 13 to 7. I mean, this doesn't really do anything. So if he's going to play Stussy to stun this, right? It is what it is. You would have stunned the Mihawk for free as well. Like, stunning the prone is no big deal. And what's this? 3 for... Who knows? I don't know what the 3's for, to be honest with you. His Mihawk is trash. We can't attack with anything other than Leader. We can play Shanks and go 11-12. But he has 6k here on board. 100%. We know he has at least 1 2k. How many has he gone through? Only 3. 4 on the board. We can Lorpo down this. Lorpo stun this. Remove the Stussy. We'll be at 8k. So we have a decent bit of count. So we have 2 2s and a 4k. If he has another Stussy, he stuns our entire board again, though. Which is just really rough. But if we can then stay at 1 and Luna... We can't clear the rocks, though. I could Law Post stun this and jam into the Stussy. Then we have guaranteed one thing that can swing next turn. And then we can go for a split with, like, Shanks plus whatever stays up, which will be the Beppo. As if he lets the Stussy go. But neither of these can defend Stussy, so I think he does. He could have the 2-cost event, which is what it is at that point. I think this is the best option, though. So we're at 8. Going 11 to 5 is just better. We could get another event out of life. How much does that matter? It could do. Let's go 10 to 5. This is triple 2s. He only has 5 cards. He can't use any of these effects to defend Stussy. He can, of course, have another one, but the on-play won't do anything other than stun Perona. If this goes... Yeah. One of these gets to swing. If I had another Luna, I would have Shanks Luna'd again. But I don't. So it is what it is. To be honest, if I had another Luna, Lord Beppo Luna actually might still just be better. Because then we would stun absolutely everything. In fact, it would. Yeah, if we had a second Luna, Lord Beppo Luna would be very, very good. We'd just swing 8 leader. Get 2 cards, and then stun the board. Okay, so he is defending this. Okay, he did have 3 2s. Well, it is what it is. Truly, it is what it is. At least we got rid of them. Yeah, 3 Don to stun a Beppo. Or to stun the Shanks, rather. And then he can do 6 more Don to stun the other one. Which... Yeah, there's not a lot I can do about it. There's not a lot. Maybe we have a... I don't know. We have a slightly better lethal this turn because he has less cards in his hand, but not by much. He does have to have another Stussy here. Am I ever taking this? What would his split be? This is 10, 10. No, we're not taking this. I think it'd be foolish to take that. We can take the next swing, though. We can. We don't die. But the question is, can we go again? If I get a Luna off the top or off the life, absolutely we can go again. If this is 6 Don, if this gets stunned. But if this is 6 Don, this is 8 and this is 9. So taking this is fine. That doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. Tosses Linlin, reveals Strawson. He'll toss that Strawson immediately. Yeah. I can counter both of these and then... He plays 6 for Stussy. We have 11... Is it lethal, actually? No, we have 12 from Shanks and then 5 more Dons. So we have 11 from leader. We'd swing 12 with the Shanks. That's guaranteed, actually. Because his max is 6k here. Which only reduces it to 6. And then we swing 11 with the leader. Which is... He'd have to have exactly 2 2ks and then the Nougat effect. I think we just go for it. This is 15. We can counter a 15. Yeah, we'll just take. This is... If he goes for it, this is 15. If not, this is 6 Stussy. I think... I'm pretty sure we have math lethal either way. I'll need to wait a minute to work it out. What's the best? Because we... No, the Perona won't get to swing either. So he'll be stunned. If we play it and go... Yeah. And then 6 for Stussy again. Yep. That's not helpful. Okay. So we play the Shanks, we restand 5. If we... The most he can go to from this position, if we swing with leader, 10 is guaranteed. If I swing 10 with leader, I can then swing 13 with Shanks, which this will reduce it to 10. This will buff him to 8. Then he has 1 card left, which is only a 2k, so that's guaranteed, right? Yeah, I'm not missing anything there. Let's go Shanks, restand 2. Leader, rest this. 1, 2, 3. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is guaranteed because he can do 3k from Newgate and have a 2k in hand. And then we do Shanks 13. He has 6k here, 8k with the 1. So he can go to exactly 13. So this is math lethal. Because Shiki can't affect leader. GG's. Well played. Close one. Really fucking close. I thought we were going to lose that. Just about got there. Yep. 10. Newgate to 8. And then 1 card go to 12. GG's. It was exact. It was exact. I'm glad I did the maths before starting swanging. Although given one of them was a 1k, I think it would have worked the other way around as well. If we'd swung 12 and then 11. Because he can't counter the 12 exactly the same as he couldn't counter the first swing. And then on 11, he'd be able to go to 8, go to 10 with the rocks, and then go to 11 with the bucket. So we had him either way. GG, that was a close game. The extra 1,000 power was just generally quite good. We drew a little poorly in the opening turns as well. We whiffed the Mihawk on 6, which was unfortunate. But 2 Shanks was really big. 2 Shanks was really big. And the Law Beppo was clutch as well. Being able to freeze the rocks for that one turn. Even though the other things got to swing, he had to be very careful, right? Because if he didn't double stun the 10 costs by using 9 Don on Stassies, he just loses. So he can either go for it, which we had 2 2Ks and a 4K, and it was an 8K leader. We had a 2K in life, which we didn't know about, but it was there. So it's risky for him to go for it. But, hey, we got there. W. Well played to our opponent. Okay, got a mirror. He's chosen first, which is interesting. I would have thought second is better, but maybe I'm wrong on that. That hand is terrible. Ugh, his hand's not great either. No searchers. That's scary, man. You need searchers in this deck. And we have nothing. 2 hands with no searchers when we play 12. And 2 boats, so like 14 is rough. Well, it looks like he doesn't have any either. So I guess nothing lost, nothing found, huh? Well, there's a Perona. We can get going with that. Hopefully. Law Beppo's good. 2 of them, I don't know if we'll need to. We'll find out. Multiple Odins is just pretty damn good. I don't have a lot else to do with these Dons. So I guess we'll deal a damage, huh? And then pass. There's no point leaving one up to Cosm. I guess I could have left it as a 2k, but I'm pretty happy to take one more swing. We'll see if he plays Odin here. Or if he finally has some searches, maybe. It's very weird that neither of us have found searches. We both had a little bit of a low roll. Did he mulligan or not? Are we playing Yasop? That's interesting. You can't play this off Mihawk. I would have thought it's bad, but maybe I'm wrong on that. We'll take again. No trigger there. Not the greatest find. It's okay. We'll get to go Mihawk Odin, stun this Yasop, which is nice. Luna's good later. Yeah, we're just going to go Mihawk into Odin. Stun this. We can maybe play you next turn. We can maybe play you next turn. Rest this. Restand 3. I don't want to rest the Mihawk just in case. And then I think I'll just swing 8. We can leave 1 unopen. We don't have 8 rested cards, but you never know. You never know. We might need to use it as a 2k, as I only have 1. I doubt it, though. The fact that this can't attack is cool. He doesn't have Mihawk, although he probably isn't playing me. He might not be playing. I don't know. He might not be playing 4. He might be playing Law. Don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rested cards if we use the Don. But other than that, we have a pretty good hand, right? We can do Mihawk into Odin again. We can just stun this Yasop once more. Laboon, I don't care about. Oh, he's playing Samurai. That makes sense. Resting this is interesting, though. We could counter here. We counter here. Give up this, give up the Perona. We don't really need these cards. Staying a little healthy would be nice. I think we might be able to remove this Odin. But if we can remove the Odin and stun the Yasop, does it matter that we're at 2? He doesn't get to play Shanks next turn either. And Dracule should be online. I think we could take one more. We can be a little greedy here. And he has a couple of Dons open for events, which is fine. How many rested cards does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Didn't restand one. He knows. That's the 8th card. We get a boat. That's a brilliant find. Do I want to Kinemon? We don't actually have Samurai. So playing this is kind of a little bit pointless. We can Mihawk Odin first, I think. Yeah, we can't rest the Mihawk, so that can't attack. Maybe we don't get to clear this Odin. Let's go Mihawk Odin. Okay, we do have Samurai. I guess we can... We can't rest this. We can rest the Mihawk and the Perona, though. It's done the Yasop regardless. Yeah, I'll go with... We'll forego the Kinemon. I'll play the stage, because this is free. Then... If I'm going to rest these two, having this rested doesn't really matter, so we can just clear the Laboon. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's clear the Laboon. I think I like clearing the Laboon. Then, I think I also like swinging 8 into this, because he can't just Achille Cosm it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know he can, because he has the boat rested as well. He can just Achille Cosm. But it is what it is. If he's going to Achille Cosm, he's going to Achille Cosm. Let's go 8 to it. What if we don't Samurai? I'm not going to Samurai next turn. This is the only turn to use this, I think. Yeah, it's fine. Let's just go 7 into it. Then we'll rest these. Can't rest this because it's got no rest. Yeah, we don't need 5,000 Peronas. End the turn, reset 1. 9 Don. He's going to be looking for Mihawk. He's going to be looking for Odin. We've definitely drawn better than him. He's playing some interesting text, though. This Yasop's weird. I don't like it. At least in my first instinct is to not like it. But what if I did like it? Is it good? I think you can resting an 8 is pretty strong. Doesn't it base cost? Being able to restand itself is cool. Yeah, there's the lore that I thought he might be playing. Must have a double summon because you wouldn't trash that otherwise. Or he just doesn't have a 5-drop, which would be crazy. I didn't also realise we had all 4 Peronas in hand. That's hilarious. There's the Mihawk into an Odin or a Perona. Perona, okay, stuns both Odins. That's pretty reasonable. And then he'll get to swing, what, 9 if he wants to into the Mihawk? We can Dracule Cosm that, that's fine. I have many rested cards. Yes, 9 to 7. We will... What 2K, 1K this? Save the Dracule Cosm? That could be better, honestly. That could be better. I actually kind of like saving the Dracule Cosm. So let's go 2K, 1K. Hold on. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. For sure. I think I'm going to Shanks here. Feels pretty good. Don't know if I'm going to Lunar or not. I mean, stunning the whole board's pretty flipping obnoxious, right? I don't think Lord Beppo... I think he's just Shanks Lunar here, right? It's gotta be. It's gotta be. So we get 2 more Dons. One of them I'm going to use for the boat. So we can just swing 777s, because they don't play that many 2Ks. Let's start with 7. No. No, we're not going to find time for that. Let's just get rid of the Samurai. Time's come and gone. 7 again. Oh, I guess we could just chuck the boat. We don't need to play it. All these other cards are kind of better. Yes, just off the boat. We can swing 8 with leader then. That's slightly better. Takes that. I mean, pretty good for us. Deploy this. Goodbye. We stand 2. Rest this. 1, 2, 3. We'll go 8 leader. This will eat the dracule that he has. Then we'll go 12 leader. Then we stun the board. And then we win. Probably. Not guaranteed. He could have Beppo Luna. And we don't have any more Lunas in hand. Oh, he's still at 1 life. Actually, maybe I lied a little bit there. We'll stun the board. And then we'll pass. I guess these Odins aren't tapped though, right? He has to have Beppo Luna here. Has to have Beppo Luna. Beppo stun the Shanks, Luna stun the Mihawks. All strong. Same difference. Then we have the Odins. There's Beppo. Stuns the Shanks. Very good. We stand 8 to 6. And then this is Luna. Okay. Luna stun the Mihawks. So we're gonna have to just attack the Odins into the board, I think here. Into the Odin. We're gonna Beppo. His Beppo. Over the top of one of the Odins. Do you want to keep this? Again, we can kind of just 2k, 1k here, I think. This has to be... I mean, if it's strong or Luna, it doesn't matter, but stun these. Yeah, strong is actually the same as Luna here, so it's fine. And then Yasop restands. That's never better, but it could be better next turn. We're going to get 3 back. Swing there. Cool. Beppo over the top of this. Stun this. Rest this. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to go 9 to... We're just pushing face here, right? This one, we're at 8. This is not a great swing. He can't lethal. It's impossible. This is at 8. We could go 8, 9. 8, 9's like not that good. Might just go 7 and then 10. 7 at the Mihawk. Then just go 10 at leader. Just let it go, that's fine. Yeah, just go 10 lead. I guess he could DMG, but like, it's still a really shit lethal with us at 8k. We have 2k, 1k in hand. Maybe could have used this last turn though. I don't know. Okay, we get 2k, 1k. We stand 1. Now it's harder, right? Because he can Beppo once more. Yeah, we're not defending this Odin. Because if I defend it from the Yasop, I've also got to defend it from the Piranha. There's no point. He can Beppo strong again. I'll probably just dracule on that one. Staying at 2 here feels pretty good. And he leaves. Yep. Seems about right. I think going second is better in this matchup. We definitely also drew slightly better than him. He whiffed the Mihawk on 7, which is pretty unfortunate. He just played an Odin. Whereas we got Mihawk Odin into Mihawk Odin. This Yasop, I don't know if I like it, man. I don't know if I like it. And neither of us had a very exciting early game, right? And neither of us found searchers to start doing the samurai stuff. We drew a couple samurais and we were able to resolve 1, I think. By resting a couple of fellas that we just played, the Mihawk and the Odin. Which was fine. Yeah. Yeah. The Laboon didn't do anything. It's not for this matchup, right? He played it out to Samurai, which is fair enough. He needed the cycle. Is he playing... Is he only playing like... There's at least 2 little Beppos. I don't think this is too crazy. He might have 4 Tank or Shanks, though. Which I think is too many. I can't tell. Either way, well played to our opponent. Nice to win a mirror. I think this is not going to be the most exciting mirror in the world. He who curves out better, probably in a pretty good position. The events are pretty big. And, I mean, if one of us had a better early game than the other, it could have been different. But we both kind of... Yeah, he whiffed one thing. We didn't whiff anything. It is what it is. We went to Ace and Luffy. I'm assuming this is Straw Hat Slop, huh? What do we take off them? I guess second. Luna's going to be really good in this matchup. I guess I'll take second. That's not a keepable hand. It's not great either. That's not great either. Yeah, this is Straw Hat Slop. Okay, the aggression is going to be scary. Okay, that's nice. I like that one. Don't think this is good. I'm going to play this looking for Samurai. We whiff! That's why I hate this card. I hate this card. But when it hits, man, it's so good. It's so good when it hits. It's unlucky. Hey-ho. Hey-ho. Nami finds a Sanji. Okay. What was the other one? You found the 5-cost Luffy, right? Yeah, nothing too crazy on there. He can do more searches or he can swing 8. We'll just take whatever the swing is here. We're looking for more searches. We're looking for Samurais. It's nice to get that card advantage in the early game. We're already down 1 card because this Damo Tama whiffed. I'm in such a mixed opinion on this card, man. I've had when I have the builds without her, she does help in the early game, but whiffing on her sucks, man. Okay, Perona, you can... Well, we've got Mihawk. We've got our next turn cooked. I don't think Lord Beppo is going to be that good in this matchup. I mean, going to 8 is pretty damn good. Going to 7 is pretty good into them, right? Going to 7 is pretty good. A second Mihawk could also be strong. If we take the Kinemon, even if I find a Samurai, I'm not actually playing it next turn. So I might just take the second Mihawk. We've got our entire curve cooked now. And... Am I using Dracule? He's going to 5. He can swing a couple of times. Maybe I will. I'm just going to go 7. You can go like Sanji, Luffy, 6, 7. Which, annoyingly, Dracule only a 2k, but I don't really want to go down to 2 life, you know? Yeah, Sanji, Luffy. Oh, he's got he's got the combo. That's annoying. Congress Haki and a Searcher event. Another Sanji. There's a Luffy. Okay, so we're going 6, 6, 5. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, I'll take 1. Okay, we found a 2k there. So that's something. Am I going to keep the Dracule? We'd have to find another Odin. We can find Perona. Perona is equally good as Odin. I'm going to trash the Odin and trash the Otama. I don't want to go down too low too fast. We've got the Luna. That's coming up. That's nice. Kinemon's a good find. I'm going to go Mihawk into Odin. Odin's going to stun. Stunning this is good. We're never attacking this. It's too big. Not this turn. Not this turn. So let's just stun this, because he gets extra value out of this one. Then we'll go rest on the Tama. We stand 3. We'll go 3 to Sanji. Which there's no way you save this. There's no way. I refuse to believe. Does he? He does. Okay, how much do I value getting to swing at leader versus killing this Sanji? H. I always want to play this. Okay. I'm going to swing 5 at the Sanji and then play Samurai. We do rest the Mihawk, which is a little dodgy. But... if we rest the Mihawk and he has 7-cost Luffy, I'm pretty upset about it. We know he's Conqueror's Haki in a search event. The draw's so good though, man. We can do it next turn. Should have played this first before swinging with the Perona. That's a mistake. Should have played this first before swinging with the Perona. Risk it. Okay, we don't have another Odin or Perona, which is a little scary. Don't think we need this boat. And pass one on open. Yeah, should have played the Mihawk. Should have played the... When did I draw this? No, I drew this off the Odin, right? This was the Odin draw. Yeah, so I couldn't have played it. To rest. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, you got it. See what he does for 7 here. If it's 7 cost Luffy, I'm pretty upset. Okay, it's not. He's searching. Another Sanji's not that scary. In 2 turns, we get to Shanks Luna. We just need to get there. We ideally need to find something to play off this Mihawk. I'd love to keep these 2. Is that going to happen? Probably not. There's the Luffy. Shows us the 2 events again. Okay, here's another one. There's another Sanji. Does the Sanji deploy anything? Okay, he deploys that. Man, I really dislike these combo decks. I really do dislike these combo decks. It's trash kin. So what do we got? We got 4 6s. Holy man. Okay, that's a nice find. Maybe we have to just Luna this turn. This is such a lot of aggression. Really scary. This Luffy's going to be here, though. Honestly, we're countering these 2. So we're taking 1 more. So let's just take this one. Give up this. Doesn't swing it. Okay. DMG Luna. It's 5 Don. I don't have anything off this Mihawk. I think I'm going to start with the Samurai. Okay, we draw an Odin. Mihawk, Odin, Luna, huh? Mihawk, Odin, Luna. Mihawk, Odin, stun the 5 cost. Play Luna. We have enough Don because we have a leader effect. We can leave a couple up with dracule. Next turn we have to just go for lethal with Shanks, which is a bit dodge because he has Conqueror's Haki, but there's not a lot I can do about it. At least he doesn't have it this turn. We know he has Conqueror's Haki. We know he has a Searcher event. If I do that, that's... We basically have 1 more Don, which I'll probably want to leave open, to be honest with you, for another counter event. Next turn we can go Shanks DMG, actually, which could be clutch. He'll only have 1 attack. Do I have to leave 2 Don open? I think it depends what we draw off the Mihawk, whether I have to leave 2 Don open or not. But regardless, let's start with 6 here. We want him to at least take 1 hit this turn. We need him to at least take 1 hit, I think. Okay, he takes that one. Let's go 7. Don't need these Mihawks. These Mihawks are rubbish. I think I do want to pressure the other 6. Oh, we get a 0 cost. That's huge. It's fucking huge. This guy has no counter in hand. So we go Mihawk, Odin. Honestly, I'm probably going to rest the extra Mihawk. Let's go Mihawk and Odin. Play over the Atama. Verona would have been better if I'd had her, but weren't to know. We stun this. Yeah, man, I wish I had Verona. Well, yeah, do I want to rest this Mihawk is the thing, right? Do I want to rest this Mihawk to get the extra 1 trash 1? I don't think I do. Don't think we need it. There's no bricks in the hand. We could toss another event, but we might just draw another brick. There's already a Mihawk rested, though. Like, he can't take them all out. Let's just rest it. It doesn't help. That doesn't help. Let's toss that. Then, yeah, I want to swing 1 more 6. I think I'm fine with just 1 Don active. For Dracula. Because if he has a rush unit, there's no way he can swing that big. There's no way he can swing that big. We know one of the cards in his hand is Conqueror's Haki. The Mamma Mia. Could have honestly probably just gone like DMG as well, but it only gets us out of one more swing, and this develops 2 bodies, right? Which makes our lethal much more likely next turn. Yeah, Nami Searcher over the Sanji. Good, good, good. We're finding out more information about his hand. We only know Conqueror's Haki at the moment. Because he tossed the event with the BM. Thousand Sunny, yeah, I mean that's a freebie, right? We do have we have fucking shitloads of rested cards, bro. We got a million rested cards. What did he find? Another 1000 Sunny. That's not what he's looking for. I know you're strong. Oh, okay, he can stand 2 Mihawks. Okay, okay, okay. But we know one of these is Conqueror's Haki. Don there. This is 8. So we can do 8, 8. Which we actually can't counter both 8s, so we will have to take one of them. He's going to want to leave some Dons open, though, for his events. 6 to 5. 2k here. Yeah, 2k is fine. That's not going to go. And now he's only left 2 up, so we can DMG the Dons. Sweet Godot. I don't know what you mean by that, I'm afraid. But we definitely do this. Six, 6, 6, 12. It's all but guaranteed, I think. So we now know he has 1 dead card. I don't know what the other card was. Because he chained the Sunnies and the Nami into the Sunnies into the Strong. If this card is a 1k and then this card is a 1k, we can lose this here. Which is annoying. I think it was better to play the DMG though. Maybe it wasn't. But if he has 2 events, like we get giga fucked. If he has 2 events. He needs to have 2 1Ks here. We know one of them's dead. You got it? No, it doesn't work. Yeah, GG's. He had a brick. Close one. Close one. Yeah, it was a rush leafy. This deck does play a good number of bricks. If he had another bad manners, we lost. But yeah, GG, that was a close one. The aggression was just crazy. But we saw 1 Luna. It was enough. Maybe last turn I could have DMG Luna'd. The Strong kind of saved him there. Not going to lie. We were like giga winning. And to be fair with the Strong, if I DMG Luna'd, I'm pretty sure I lose. Because he stuns my only Mihawk and my only Odin. So we'd have probably lost there if I didn't have the, if I'd gone with the DMG. If we had the Perona, we could, I don't know, maybe we could have gone again. We just had better defense. It's better defense than the Odin. The Odin's draws, I don't know how much they mattered. Definitely was correct to rest the Mihawk. Honestly, given that he got stunned, maybe it wasn't. Maybe if I just rested the boat, because the draw 1 trash 1 didn't actually matter. If I just rest the boat, the Mihawk doesn't get stunned. He has to stun Mihawk Odin. And then we have 6, 6, 7 or 6, 8, 12. Yeah, which would have forced a 2k to be somewhere rather than just 1k's. It was close either way. It was close either way. The DMG, given that he had 2 bricks and a 1k, the DMG didn't matter. We could have just swung like 7, 7, 7. It would have been the same, actually, but we weren't to know. Either way, well played, your opponent. Let's move on. Now, in terms of other options for this deck, firstly, I want to show you my other list with no Otama. If you don't enjoy Otama, as I often don't, you can include better 2Ks. This Zoro is very strong, especially into the Elbaf decks early game, before they get the Saul or Loki online. So you're looking sort of up to the 4-Don turn. Finding this can get you out of a lot of aggression, and then it is another samurai target, which is pretty cool. Megalo... Megalo's a bit funny, but the removal can catch people off guard. People don't expect Mihawk to be playing much removal. Last format, people were playing for fun a lot, and I suppose we can pull that up. You could probably still include that card, but I do think it doesn't really do a lot into Rocks and Kaido, which I personally expect to be two of the better decks. However, into Sabo, it could be pretty good for popping Pirate Docking if they don't have that Zoro on the board. So you could probably still experiment with for fun, but I like Megalo. It hits just that little bit larger. Into Rocks, this can blow up a Newgate, which is hilarious. Into Ace, this can blow up a Vista, which again is hilarious. And it's a 2k. And the art's fire. I like this card. I like this card a lot. But he's not searchable, so this isn't the only 2k you can include. Another cool one is Zoro. This can't be rested by Shanks, because it can't be rested by characters. As long as you have something else to activate its replacement effect, which is kind of neat. You could also play Laboon. Laboon is another 2k that I've had in my list at some point. I've found it not being as great recently, because Loki doesn't remove very much at base. If people are playing the Tempest Kick, then, you know, they can remove some of your stuff, which is fair enough, and Laboon would be good into that. But into Rocks, the only removal they have is the Gloriosa, and I found the cost of both having to play Laboon, find it because it's unsearchable, and then sort of leave it on the board. It's a little awkward sometimes. It's a 2k out of hand, and if they're playing Gloriosa, it means they're not playing a more relevant body, especially in the mid game. Like, once they get to 10, that's when the Gloriosa can be a little more annoying. But, like, in the mid game, if you go Mihawk Odin on 6, and they respond with Laboon on 7, Gloriosa on 7, that's pretty good for you, because they've not played a Shiki, and they've not played a Newgate. So I don't think this is essential for Rocks. Maybe you could help in Kaido to stop the removal Kaido. I think this is another 2k you could look to include. Is what I'm trying to say. If you don't like this Zoro, or if you don't like Megalo, but you don't want to play the Otama build. If you're playing the Otama build, there's no room for Laboon anyway, so it is what it is. I do think this card was pretty popular in OP 16.5. However, there is a lot more power down now. Red Ace is one of the better decks, has a lot of power down. Kaido has power down. All the black decks play the Robin, which is power down. So I don't think this Shanks is going to be very easy to defend. However, if you want to include 1 or 2 copies, I think that's perfectly reasonable. Stun Bonnie, I think, is very interesting. Depending on what Mihawk's worst matchups ended up being, once people have worked out how exactly we're playing this deck, and how exactly we're playing all the new decks, I think Bonnie being able to stun a Don to deny some of these 10 costs could be pretty cool. I'm imagining, especially into Lin, this being really powerful, because that deck really doesn't do anything if it can't play 10 cost Mum on 10. Like, having to wait for 12 Don to play that is kind of abysmal for that deck. So I think Bonnie could be pretty cool in some matchups. And if you are playing Bonnie, you could also potentially consider playing Law, because the one downside of Bonnie is she's not Slash, so Mihawk can't play her out. But Law can. He can also pick up some of your searchers and be a blocker. There are upsides to Law, but the downsides of playing your Odin out rested, and the lower stat line and not getting the draw on Trash one, it swings and roundabouts. The Mihawk and the Law really are side grades, but I just personally prefer the Mihawk at the moment. Another 5 cost, Smoker. Smoker's fine. I've had this in some of my lists. Into yellow, it's fine, but they can Zeus it, so you probably want to be playing Laboon, and then you're looking for a pretty hard to find card and an unsearchable card, which is sort of quite the combo to put together. But I do think Smoker is another very reasonable target of Mihawk if you want to play more than 8. And finally, if you don't like Luna, you could play Strong. However, there are so many situations and scenarios where this is freezing way more than 2 dudes now, that I do just think that Luna it's just worth playing over Strong. I just think it is better in this format now that we have the Shanks. Being able to Shanks Luna, so much better than Shanks Strong. So much better. And this being 3k is cool, but I am choosing to play like 10 2ks in all of my builds, as well as 3 Drachylicosms, so we do have a good amount of counter. I think that's about all the cards I wanted to talk about. I do think Mihawk is going to be one of the best decks in this format, if not the best deck. It feels like you don't have too many terrible matchups. Some of the aggressive decks can still be a little difficult, But having a really good rocks matchup, because you can freeze their entire board, is lovely. But I think this deck allows for a good amount of skill expression. When to use what searchers, when to samurai your characters, when to leave them standing, what top end you need for each matchup, when to Luna, when to save it for a later turn, are all going to be things that take you a little while and take me a little while to get used to. But there's no doubt that this is one of the best decks in OP17. There is no doubt. Thank you for watching, and hope you have a lovely rest of your day.